What is your story involving a car? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Travis. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello, gentlemen. How you guys doing?
Doing well, man.
Wonderful. See, I got a fun little one for you. Speeding story. Was headed down years ago, driving westbound on I-90, and it was a wide open lanes, nobody on the highway. I had a friend of mine and my younger brother in the back seat, and I decided I was going to have a little bit of fun. There was nobody on the road, and so I started flooring it, and at some point I got up to about 130 going down I-90 in those twisted corners, so I was going straight down the corner, crisscrossing opposite traffic and back. Very stupid thing to be doing. At a younger age, made bad choices like that.
No, that's the only age you're going to do. It's a stupid choice when you're 50 to do it. When you're young, still a stupid choice, but people say, yeah, okay, I understand.
Yeah. I was driving a Passat, a Volkswagen Passat turbocharged, so having a lot of fun with that for sure. My brother is in the back seat holding on to either of the, hang on.
He tried. Once again, bedroom colors, here are the 7
He's not
words
wrong.
you can't say on the radio. Sucker, mother, and please keep those words in mind when calling. Now, back to the program.
Who hasn't grabbed onto the OS handles?
Yeah.
That's right. So he was sitting in the middle. No, he was sitting in the middle seat, holding on to both of them, swinging back and forth, cheering me on, go faster, go faster. Well, lo and behold, of course, as expected, bunch of big blue lights lighting up way behind me. And so, as you expect, you're doing something stupid, you're going to get the repercussions. So I get pulled over by a stater, and that stater comes up to me, and he looks at me, and as I know, he's got to be the one that tags you. He walks up to the window, and he goes, "Do you understand how fast you were just going?" And I look at him, and I go, "I don't know, sir. How fast was I going?" And he goes, "Well, I clocked you at 90 miles an hour." And I started laughing.
Cool.
And yeah. He clocked me at 9. I was going 130. When he caught up to me, I was slowing down, and he got me at 90 and a 70. And so I started laughing. He's like, "You think this is funny?" And I'm like, "No, sir. But if you would have caught me a couple seconds ago, I'd have been going to jail because I was going 130.
No.
And so right then, of course, my sibling is like, the back seat slapped my arm. "What are you doing? Don't say that." And I was like, well, there's nothing he could do about it. And it turns out that an airplane above tagged my speed and sent him after me. So he was uber upset that I knew I was going way faster than he tagged me, and he couldn't do anything about it because he wasn't the one that tagged me doing that. He could only get me for going 90.
And you didn't even pull me over for all the cocaine in my trunk.
That's right. And the dead body.
Well, we might or might not have been indulging in some greenery, but he didn't notice that. So
Okay. All right.
I would just assume that someone that's driving that fast is not stoned on weed.
No.
Like most people, if they're going like 15 miles an hour, like, hey, bro, come on, speed it up.
How old was he again, though?
I don't remember, but I'm guessing 18, 19.
Yeah, I mean, again, like we were talking about a different thing, but like at that age, like it's just hard to tell kid, like stop it.
Right.
I was talking to another coworker today. His son got into
some stuff.
Yeah, and I was just like, I'm not excusing it, but I could see how they did it. They're 16-year-old boys.
Well, it's exactly it, right? And because like it's school, right? You'll get some email about, "Oh, this happened." I'm like, it's a classroom full of 13-year-old boys. And again, we're not excusing it, but tell me you're not shocked. Anyway,
Right.
That's all I'm going to ask. Like, are you blown away about this behavior?
They're going to do bad things.
Yeah, not even
all.
bad. They're not bad. Just stupid.
Right.
Like in 3 years, they'll start doing bad stuff. Right now, they're just doing stupid stuff. I'm like, well, yeah.
Dude, I remember putting a hole. Well, Bernie did. My dad's in our living
still
room.
shifting the blame.
Yeah, but I remember my dad came in. He goes, "Why is there a hole in the wall?" And I said, "Well, we were doing goal line stances in the living room." And I remember him just looking at me like, "Why were you doing goal line stances in the living room?"
Right.
And as a 44-year-old adult man, like he's right.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was
He just
like,
wanted to know why.
This is fun.
My father, a lot of times, just whatever it is, and he would just ask me point blank, because it's the same thing. You give your response, and there's like a 5 Mississippi beat, but they're just looking at you. They're not quite disappointed. They're not even quite angry. They're not happy, but the words just come out. He's like, "Stephen, are you stupid?" I'm like, "Well, I don't think I am." He's like, I think you are. It's like you don't always act stupid, but like if this thing happened based on the reason you're telling me, like, that is stupid.
Do you know what he's thinking when he's looking at you with that 5 seconds he doesn't talk?
What's that?
I have a pretty good idea. He's thinking, "You are my wife." This is
I've seen this before.
this is his mother's child.
That does happen, and you can't say like something will happen because you do take after your parents, and you kind of
like both my kids. I could go like, "This is your mom.
Yep.
You are your mom right now."
I understand.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that their mother looked at them many times and said, "You are your dad right now."
Well, no, because the difference between me and my wife is right. You take this thing on. Obviously, it's derivative of her, and just kind of all right, man, deal with the situation. My wife, she'll deal with one of the kids, whatever the situation is, and she'll immediately walk up to me and just say, "They get this from you, you know." And I'm like, "I know, I know they get this from, but I am not responsible for their decision." But you're right that I'm clearly the father of this child because the decision they made was very, very
Dude, my
stupid.
sister-in-law blames me for my nephew sometimes.
What?
Yeah, she's like, he's like you. He gets into stuff, and I don't know how he's doing it, right? Because he met some kid. The dad's the CEO of Sargento, so they fly to all these games and stuff. She's just like, I don't know. And then they went to visit him once, and he stays out the night before. He's pledging some fraternity. Either way, he comes home hammered, right? So my brother and my sister-in-law are pissed, right? It's like orientation weekend. He's not even a student yet. And then they're sitting at this table. You're going to have lunch with everybody. And here comes the group leader. And they're still pissed, right? Like, we're going to kill him. And she's just like, CJ is the greatest. He participated in everything. Yeah. Right? She's just like, he gets that from you. He just talks to people.
Okay.
I'm like, all right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What's your story involving a car? 206-803.
It's always somebody. When they're bad, it's either the other parents or somebody else is in the family.
Well, you always know what kind of news you're going to get based on how your spouse says it. So if it's, do you know what my daughter did today? Well, if it's your daughter, she did something great. If I hear, do you know what your daughter did today? Then she did something bad. And I do the same thing. I'm guilty of it.
Yeah.
You might want to talk to your son. That means I'm done. I can't deal with it anymore.
And parents do it too.
What do you
I
mean?
remember getting in trouble once for something, and my mom was like, "You're not expected out of your sister." I was like, Jesus. Yeah, you're right. That was dumb.
The only
Basically,
time my
she doesn't-
parents would say that is if I got a good grade. You got an A. I'd expect that from your brother. But we don't expect that from you.
What is your story involving a car? 206-803-ROCK.
Sad but true.
What makes it even better is you're one of the more intelligent people I know.
But school wasn't,
Right.
man.
I get it.
Yeah. I'd expect this A from your brother. What are you doing? Hello, Jason. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So it was October 15th, 1991. Me and my girlfriend stop at an auto parts store in my pickup and pull right up front and just run inside. And I had an old lifted pickup that was a 4-speed, and it came.
Uh-oh.
Hello?
And asked her to start it up. Well, I just throw it in first gear instead of using my parking brake. She reaches over, hits the key in the gas, and it fires up and takes off and pushes me right through the wall of the auto parts store.
Oh, damn.
No way. Did you go through a window or a wall?
Wall and the window.
And you went
Great big
through
window, and then it broke my femur in half, and I was underneath the truck screaming.
But wait a minute. Wait. Hang on.
Off of me.
You literally went through the wall and window.
Yeah, my truck was like 3/4 of the way in the store.
Jesus Christ.
So you got in the zone?
What's that?
Nothing. Oh, okay.
So how long were you screaming and all the rest of this before an ambulance, I assume, showed up?
I don't know how long I was screaming until the people that worked there came over to me and kind of calmed me down. And she backed the truck off me, and I was like laid out in a bunch of motor oil. And they picked my leg up, and my foot was pointed down. And it broke completely in half. And, so that sucked.
I bet it did. How long was the recovery on
Did
that?
that suck? I was going to ask,
how long
did that suck or was that awesome?
It was, I was in the hospital for about a week, but then it took about, I don't know, I was on crutches for probably about a month.
How much longer did you date this woman?
That's not the worst, man.
Yeah, it's funny, kind of. Now it's funny. As soon as I could walk without crutches, she dumped me, so.
Oh, she waited for you to
wait
get
a
help.
minute.
She
Wait a
dumped
minute.
you.
Yeah, that was the end of that. And so now in front of that auto parts store and the gas station, they have these big concrete bollards that keep everyone from driving through the side of the building.
Do you like to brag to people and say, hey, man, I'm partially responsible for that?
Oh, yeah, all the time. Like, yeah, that's for me.
All
It's
right.
like that donut shop in Auburn. I don't know if it's still there, but it was kind of famous.
Right there on Auburn Way?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's still there, yeah.
And they had to put out concrete
Is it the
barriers.
donut hole, maybe?
Something.
It's got the
'cause-
big donut sign.
Right, but the road just kind of curves right there. But I guess people kept missing it and running into that donut shop.
When I lived in Rochester,
that doesn't
man, there was a
shock
guy. He lived, and this was every freaking year, especially in the winter. But there's a 3-way intersection, right? So it's a T-shaped intersection. But the driveway to his house lined up with the north-south road.
So you just look. It looks like you go straight.
Now, we lived there, so we knew, obviously not to keep going. But like, if you were not from there or you were unfamiliar, you would keep taking this road, and people plowed into his his garage. It probably happened like 3 times a year. So, and especially in the wintertime, people try to jam on the brakes. Car goes completely out of control. And my father would always say, like, I just don't understand why he hasn't moved his driveway. Well, lo and behold, after the 3rd year of witnessing this, and I believe it had been happening before that, we're driving down that road, get to the intersection. His driveway has moved probably 30 feet from where it used to be.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. They just couldn't do it anymore. And the guy's like, dude, my garage gets destroyed every single year.
I think you were thinking of Donut Star, Ted, and if this image is updated, yeah, they still have the concrete barriers out in front of that thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, good.
Yeah.
Good. That's on your way to White River, right? Is that what
Correct.
you're talking
And
about?
Mike knows this. And if you
Yeah.
live in Enumclaw, you got to drive past White River, right? You get off there in Auburn, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, years ago, right? The first girl I dated lived in Enum, and I was like, what is with that? And she's like, oh, people run into it all the time.
Christ, Mike, a couple weeks ago, speaking of being in your car. So they have like 18, a portion of 18 shut down. You cannot get on
Oh, yeah.
18.
Yeah.
And I was down in Auburn. So what do? White River.
There you go.
Just start booking it half an hour down there. Guess what's closed?
Oh, no.
There's a bridge.
The little bridge. Up
Oh,
there.
no, you kidding.
Son of a gun.
Half hour. I had to turn it all the way back down. I was like, God
No, you
damn.
didn't. I could have gotten you around, Miles.
You know what? I just didn't know what to do at that point.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, man,
I know.
I don't know the back roads. Like, this sucks. That was when like I-5 was shut down, 405 was shut down. I mean, just
That little section of 18.
Anywhere you
That
drove that
little
weekend,
section.
you were
It was like
just
literally
screaming.
like half a mile of 18
Yeah.
was closed from C Street to Auburn Way.
That's it.
Christ.
What's your story involving a car? 206-803-ROCK.
That damn C Street.
Well, yeah, it was nothing. It's like I don't know what it is that they're pulling through there. They had to be doing something on that
Did they?
overpass.
I'm convinced we're just going to close the roads because we can.
Right? Why not?
Hello, Brent. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitch, hola.
Hola.
Oh, yeah, so I was about 16 years old, just got my license. My twin brother and I both just got it. We had this, like, really bad beater on the Civic. And I think we bought it from some dude who probably was just selling it because it crapped out and fixed, like, the battery on it or whatever.
Yeah.
It was like $1,000. But my parents were like, oh, it's a good deal, and you guys could share the car, of course. So we're like, okay, yeah, we'll just share the car. Cool, because we already shared everything. So it didn't really matter. And so we're like having fun, living life, finally got a car. And this kid moved to our school about a year before. We had become friends with him and stuff. He's kind of a quieter kid. And throughout that, he'd explained to us that his dad had passed away from cancer. And him and his dad's thing was they restored like a really nice old, like 1950s Ford truck, right?
All right.
And we're like, okay, cool, yeah. And so we see him one day after school walking home, and he lives out like 6 miles away from the school because it's a small town. Everyone kind of knows where everyone lives, And we're like, hey, man, what are you doing walking? We thought you were driving, And he's like, no, my mom won't let me drive any car, stuff like that. We're like, okay. You need a ride home? Yeah. So we pick him up. We give him a ride home. And he's like, oh, you guys want to see that truck? And we're like, yeah, dude, of course. He shows us the truck. And it was kind of like a movie scene when he showed us the truck. He had tarp over it. It was in, like, the garage.
Right.
Pulled the tarp off. It's all polished. Super nice. I mean, I don't even know how much money this thing's worth. So couldn't imagine. And he's like, oh, you guys want to take it for a spin? And we're like, yeah, dude, sick. Like, that'd be awesome. And we're like, yeah, you guys want to drive? We're like, no, it's not our truck. We were trying to be respectful at that time, So then he hops in the truck. He's like, all right, cool, let's go. We get in the truck, too. There's no seat belts in this truck, by the way.
Of
I don't
course,
know when they were restoring it, if that was kind of their thing, like, hey, we're not going to put seat belts in there, I don't know. So we hop in. We're driving. He's going about, 50 or 60 at this point. He kind of seemed like he hadn't really drove a lot. And it was a manual truck, obviously, being that old. So
we pull down this road, and we're like in the back roads now, and you can either go a sharp, like button hook turn left, or you go into like a gravel, like 1 lane, like over a creek road that goes over like a little bridge, you know? So he starts going like 80. He starts speeding up. And we're all like, okay, yeah, like not really caring. And he tries to turn left, doesn't make it, fishtails, completely swerves back right, goes over, doesn't even make it to the bridge, just goes over like the creek, shoots off the creek. Last thing I remember was the impact of that, and then waking up and the truck's like smoking, and we're like 15 feet down, like with like the water.
Oh,
Oof.
And the truck's completely totaled. You know what I mean? And we're like, what do? We wake up, and we had to completely. There was so like weight balance where we were at. We couldn't just get out of the truck, so we had to crawl like one by one and like calculate our weights so it didn't tip fully, and like out of the back of the window, I guess, and then crawled up, finally got on the road, and now we're all like tripping. We're like, dude, what do we do? You know, like we can't tell our parents, like we're screwed. And waited for about an hour, and then he called his mom's brother, I think, who it was. And his mom's brother was in the military, and this is kind of by JBLM where we're at. And he calls him up, and he's like, hey, you know that truck that we all restored? And his brother kind of immediately knew, like, no, don't tell me, you know, you guys messed up. So he pulls up, he's like, hey, just don't tell Mom. And at this point, I'm like, well, I don't know how I'm going to get home or anything like that. Like, we're like 10 minutes away from even his house, which is like 30 minutes from mine. And his brother, like, I'll be there in 2 hours. So, like, okay, military time, you know, tells us military time. And so he doesn't know military time, and then we tell him, no, this is what he means, you know. So I don't know why we even were thinking about that. But my arm was completely broken, too. So I'm, like, sitting there with a broken arm and probably a concussion. His buddies pull up with their Jeeps, and they have a winch, and they winch it out. It took, like, 4 hours. Jeez. We get it back to his house finally, right, like, probably before his mom got there, I think, and then get in my car. I go home. My parents are asking, like, where were you, all this stuff. And we totally lie to them. I don't know what lie we told them. And then we think, you know, I see him the next, like, couple days at school. And he's like, hey, man, my mom still doesn't know, you know. She hasn't gone in the garage yet. I'm like, oh, just throw the tarp over it, you know. I guess we'll ride this out and see what, you know, how far we can get. And his mom found out. And then he kind of ratted on us and said that we were the ones driving.
Oh.
Yeah, brutal. And then, of course, his mom is going AWOL and calls my mom because, like, they're kind of friends, you know what I mean? They're like, they know each other. So then I get home from school, unbeknownst to me and my brother. We don't know any of this happened yet. I get home from school. Both my parents are waiting there and just absolutely, like, go scold an earth on us. Then turns out that he didn't have a license. We didn't know that, and he's never driven the truck before.
Oh, that was
And
not the
it's a
best
manual.
idea. And he was going 80 miles an hour on a dirt road. Good times.
God damn, man.
The only way to learn, dude.
Yeah.
What's your story involving a car? 206-803-ROCK.